Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. So in this video we are going to see what are functions in JavaScript and how do we create function and why do we need functions in any programming language. Okay, so now let us see what functions are. See, functions are the building block of any language. Okay, now where do you need function? See, let's say you are writing something or you are building something, okay, and you are writing that thing again and again, okay. Now what will happen after writing that code again and again? There will be duplicacy of the code. You have used that code at the first place and now you are again writing that same thing on the second place. So this is the code duplicacy, and this is not also the perfect solution. Then what you can do in that case? In that case you write that code only one time, okay, and outside that code you will create one wrapper. Now that wrapper will be a function, and now where you need that code to access, you will simply call that function, and then you can use that code there as well, okay. So this is the simple working of the function, okay, that they are used to remove the code duplicacy and they make our life so much easier, okay. Now in JavaScript there are two types of function, okay. The first type of function is the normal function, which I say in my terms, okay. Then the second type is arrow function, okay. These are the new functions, okay, which were introduced in the ES6, okay. This version came out in the 2015, okay. So we are going to see both of these functions one by one, but first of all let us try to see the normal function, okay. What a normal function is. See, how do we create function in JavaScript? You have first of all you have to use the function keyword. Then after that you have to give one name to that function, okay. Otherwise how you are going to access all the code which is written inside that function? So let us try to give one name, okay. Show message. Now here you will add the parenthesis, opening and closing parenthesis, and after that you will add the curly braces, which will be the body of your function. Now inside this body you can perform any operation, okay. Let's say here we are simply going to print something on console, okay. Hello from message. Now this is the function I have created. But now how I am going to use this function at the place where I need to use it? So for that, one thing will help us, and that is the name of this function, okay. Why name of the function? Because whenever you try to access any variable which you created in the language, how do you access it? You use the variable name, na? So in similar way we have to use the function name as well, okay. Let me write this function name. Now so this function should run after writing the name, but no, this function is not going to execute. Why? Because till now you have only written the name of that function, okay. You have not called that function, because when you will call that function, then only that function is going to do its work, na. So to call the function you have to simply add the opening and closing parenthesis. That's it. And now you can see on the console that our function has print the message on the console, okay. This is how you create a normal or a general function in JavaScript. Okay. Now see, there are some technical terms, okay, which are related to both of these statements. Okay, the above function which I have created here and the function call. Now, what is a technical term? Technical term here is that this function which I have created here, we have multiple names of this. Okay, what multiple names? We can also call it function definition or function declaration. Okay, this is the name which is given to this function, okay, which you create. Either it is a function definition or you can call it a function declaration. Okay. Now what is the technical term associated with this? That this is a function call. Now what happens is when you call this function, so at that time this function definition is invoked. Okay, and then whatever is written inside this function is executed and you can see the output. Okay, so this is how we create a very basic function. No, but see, this function will not fulfill my needs now. Why? Because let's say you want to pass the custom input to that function, okay, and it should return the result, or let's say you want to perform any operation on those values, then how you are going to do that thing? So for that we use the two things. One is the parameter and second is the argument. Okay, let me create one more function multiply. This is a normal function, and now here I am going to call this function. Now see, let's say I want to calculate the multiplication of two numbers. So for that I will pass the two values here, and in similar way I want this function declaration to accept two values. Why? Because I am passing those values here. So let us create two variables here. Okay, number 1 comma number 2. Now first of all let me log this on the console and then show you what number 1 and number 2 holds. Now you can see here number 1 holds the 5 and number 2 hold the value of 10. Why? See, what value you have on the first place is going to be stored in the first variable, okay, and the value which is present in the last is going to be present in this variable. So now let us perform the operation here. Let result equal to number 1 multiplied by number 2. Okay, and in console we are simply going to return the result, and now here you can see the result is 50. It is working perfectly fine. But in the starting only I told you now that there are two technical terms. One is the parameter and second is the argument. Now which is what? See, the value which you pass here in the function declaration are known as the parameters. Okay, so here number 1 and number 2 are the parameters of multiply function. Okay, and the value which you pass in the function call are the arguments. 5 and 10 are arguments of multiply function. Okay, and now one more thing which you should know about the function call is that you can call the function as many times as you want. Okay, here I have only called this multiply function one time. Now let's say I want to call this multiply function another time with some other value. Okay, let's say 4 comma 95. Okay, now see here you get the value which is 380. So you can call the function anytime. Okay, once you have created that. Now see, one more thing we are missing here in this function. What is that? Let's say you have created this multiply function, but the result which you are getting is only getting printed on the console. Okay, but you don't want that thing to happen. Why? Because let's say your further processing depends on the value which you get. But here if you are printing that value, then you are not going to get that on the as a return. Now then what you can do in that case? So for that we have to return the result from this function. How we are going to return the result from this function? See, here we have stored the result of both the multiplication of both number. Okay, it is very simple. Just you have to write return keyword. Okay, and after that you can simply write the variable which you want to return. Okay, now let me remove this console.log from the comments, and you can see here that our value is gone from our console. Now why is that? See, because now here on the line number 22 you are calculating the result and you are returning the result on line number 24. But now where you are storing that value which is returned from this function. So you have to understand this thing. See, whenever you call a function, okay, it invoke this function definition or declaration. Okay, then whatever operation you have to perform, that function do it. Okay, and when this line is interacted, okay, then the value returned from this function is given back to the function call. Okay, from where you are calling that function. The result which I am getting is present at the line number 27 where I am calling this function. Yes, let me show you. So for that what I will do is I will try to cut this function. Okay, and let me log here. Now you can see here from where you are getting the answer 50, it is present at the app.js line number 27. See from here. So what I said is correct. The value this function definition returns is always given back to the function call. Okay, or from where you are calling that function. Okay, both are same thing. Let us try to log this as well. Okay, now you can see you have got the 380 as well. So this is how you create a normal function in JavaScript. Okay, now let us try to see what arrow function is. Okay, see, arrow function were introduced in the ES6 ECMAScript 6. Okay, which was released in 2015. Now how your arrow function is different from your normal function? See, the entire working of your arrow function is similar to the normal function. Then what is the difference here? Difference is of syntax. How do you create arrow function? Okay, let me show you. So let me add a comment here, arrow function. Now see, let us try to see the syntax of arrow function. First of all, here I am going to create one variable, const arrow function. Now you want to assign some value here. Now what value I want to assign here? So Ajay, you are not teaching us arrow function? Yes, I am teaching you arrow function, but I am saying na there is a special syntax to write arrow function. Okay, so just wait for that na. See, I have created one variable. Now the value which I am going to hold in this variable is a function like this. I will add simply parenthesis, then I will add this equal to and this greater than symbol, and after that I will add the curly braces, which will be the body of arrow function. Okay, so this is how your arrow function looks like. Just in between of the parenthesis and curly braces, there is a arrow symbol, okay, which is a combination of equal to and the greater than symbol. And there are different names, okay, which are given to this arrow operator. Some say that it is a fat arrow, okay, some say that it is a normal arrow function, some say it is a fat arrow function. So there are different names, okay, so you don't have to be confused in the names. Okay, now let us try to print something on console and see how this function works. Hello from arrow function. Now okay, we have created the arrow function, but now how we are going to call this function? See, the calling statement is very simple. Where you are holding this variable, where you are holding this function, you are holding it inside this variable na. So you have to simply write the variable name and just add parenthesis at the end. That's it. Now your arrow function is getting invoked. Okay, and here you can see the output in the console. Okay, so this is your arrow function. Now let us try to see if this function accepts the parameter and arguments as well. Okay, now see, const addition equal to, we are going to create a normal arrow function. We will pass two parameters, number 1 comma number 2, and what I want is I want to log the result on the console. Okay, let result equal to number 1 plus number 2. Now let me call this function with two values. Okay, one value will be 5, second value will be 67, and now here you can see the answer is 72. Okay, so your parameters and arguments also work in same way. Now let us try to see if the return statement works. So instead of returning the result, I am logging the result, I am simply going to return this. Now see here again it is not visible on the console. Why? Because it is present in the function call. The return value is present at the function call, and you can see here. So this is your arrow function. Now see, if our arrow function is exactly similar to the normal function, then what is the benefit of using the arrow function? Now we will simply use the normal function. Let me show you what are the advantages of the arrow function. Now first advantage is that if your arrow function has only one line, okay, so in that case you can remove the entire body of your arrow function, okay, and you can simply write them like this, number 1 and number 2. Okay, now see what I have done. I have removed this body, okay, this curly braces I have removed. Why? Because my function was having only one line. Okay, and after removing all those curly braces I can write the entire operation. Okay, See here, I am simply doing the calculation. Okay, so I can add that in the same line itself. And now you can see when I refresh also, the output is also same. Okay, now what is happening here? Earlier when I told you the arrow function, then I have explicitly used the return keyword there, but here you are not writing the return keyword, you have removed the curly braces as well. Okay, we can understand that if there is one line we can remove, but why you have removed the return statement? See, the one thing arrow function says that if you are writing a single line in arrow function, then this line explicitly means that you want to return the result. Okay, whatever result you are getting. Okay, so these are the two main advantages of the arrow function, that if your function has only one line, in that case you can remove all the curly braces and just write that single line. And the second advantage is that you don't have to explicitly write the return keyword. It is automatically going to return whatever it is. Okay, so this is all about your arrow functions. Thanks everyone for watching this video, and please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and follow us for more videos and the interesting topics, okay, which we teach on every weekends.